So is December 21st, in your opinion, to be any kind of event? I mean, everybody thought 2012 was going to be a huge event. I tend to not put too much on anything. It's just kind of like, I mean, it's going to be a good energetic shift. You know, we're moving out of the heaviness of the Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter conjunction that we've been feeling all year. And it's like, whoo, Saturn's in Aquarius, whoo, Jupiter's in Aquarius. And Jupiter in alignment with Saturn is going to really, really begin to dissolve a lot of the darkness that comes with Saturn. It's going to help neutralize it because it's a very benevolent planet. So I feel like there's just going to be a lightness, like a purification and a clearing that holds space for people to then go through the awakening. A lot of us that are already there might not notice a whole lot, but those that, you know, might have been immersed in sort of the fear or the programmings that they're holding on to, might all of a sudden just step out of that. And we might notice the vibration feels higher on the planet because of it. Because the collective, you know, the vibration of the collective is determining, you know, how I wouldn't say it determines the health of the planet, but, you know, the two are connected. We are micro versions of Gaia. Our DNA is the circuitry of the planet, and our chakra system connects to the multidimensional cosmos. We are a living replica, but we also are a collective. So yeah, just really just hold space for yourself on this day. Don't work too hard. Take maybe the day off, meditate, get ample rest, and just allow this to come in, and we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, that thing I just read about martial law, I mean, all this stuff is right around the corner. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen real soon. And it might correlate to December 21st as being like this big breakthrough, because the right leaders and authority is behind it, instead of you know, the kind that's been lockdowns and what we've seen. Gosh, California, anybody here who's in California, I just, with the fires and now like all that you guys deal with Newsom, hopefully he'll be taken out. I know that people are signing petitions. So I think we're just going to see the takedown of the deep state more and more. And that's just going to continue to increase. And I think they really wanted to shut things down more before this event, you know, so that we'd be more disabled. And so we're actually in a really good place if you think about it. They really wanted to disable us a lot more than they've been able to, in order for us to not be able to experience what is coming, you know, December 21st and beyond. And so we're in, you know, pretty good shape. I mean, there's still a lot of lockdowns and mandates, but I think big breakthroughs are coming and a lot more lightness. And I'll do a card reading before we close to see what the cards have to say about this timeline and what's in front of us. All right. Some people have been reporting that there is a covert operation in progress against the cabal. Is this true? If so, will it be more public soon? I'm beginning to feel it may not actually be happening since we don't see anything public. Lynn Wood brought up the Roberts guy and his connection with Epstein Island. Lynn Wood being a lawyer and bringing up, you know, Pedo Island, you know, and I mean, that's starting to come up. Okay, why are these people still wandering around? Why aren't there more arrests? I mean, so things are being mentioned. There's hints, but we're not seeing enough takedown. Well, we did see Epstein and Maxine be held accountable, and Keith Raniere and a bunch of CEOs, you know, stepping down, probably because they were pushed to the, you know, maybe it was a plea agreement. And you know, and then some people say, oh, so-and-so's a clone and they've already executed them. You see those lists that people share. I don't fully trust that. But it's like, maybe, I mean, so I'd like to keep myself sort of flexible and not have fixed beliefs, but I do feel that we are going to see a lot of that. The positive military is just doing what it needs to do strategically. And I think it's first targeted, you know, underground bases and things that we can't just yet hear about because we haven't really had real disclosure. It might, I think it's all happening though. And we're going to find out more on a public level. And it might mean that it's not on a platform like Twitter or Facebook, because they're really like making it hard to share information without centering the information or taking it down. And so that might be why, a lot is happening. We're not hearing about it because the media, Project Mockingbird media, is owned by the deep state, but the military isn't. So we're dealing with that aspect of information control. But I think stuff is happening. Absolutely. I totally do. I feel it deep within my being. And once the media, once those dark players get dismantled from controlling the media, that's when real disclosure, and we're going to really hear about, I think, all that's been happening, all that's really been going on, and we'll get the real news. But yeah, it's very difficult at this stage in the game. But I do think, yeah, there's a covert operation in progress against the cabal. And I would say that's like the Sidney Powell. I mean, this is the cabal, the election fraud, the communist China, and Trump and Sidney and Lynn and others are trying to take them down. So I would say there's much, much more to that, and many, many more involved in this takedown. And we'll have to do a card reading before we close. Did the deep state separate astronomy and astrology? Should we teach it together? I think it'd be great for those two to be taught together. Astrology has been targeted as a pseudoscience. Medical astrology isn't really utilized at all. It should be something that doctors learn about. I mean, if you want to treat the whole person, it's good to have information about the whole person based on the patterning of their chart. There's 12 houses. Now there's the 13th sign. Every single house connects with a sector of our lives. Every planet connects with an organ. And earth, air, fire, water, mental, spiritual, physical, emotional. I mean, it's the whole picture. So it's been sort of knocked out of being taken seriously. It's just more considered like, oh yeah, it's more for fun. You do your horoscope for fun. And I mean, the horoscope with just the sun sign doesn't even reveal that much at all. But yeah, if we use the system of astrology more, we would do really, really well, and especially in the medical field. And yeah, they've separated science and spirituality for a long time. And just, yeah, to kind of make it seem sort of woo-woo or evil. Like the religious side of it is like, ooh, that's, dark. It's like, all right, there's a planet that's all about, I mean, if you read a chart of somebody that didn't believe in astrology, you would see, it's like, it's not even a belief system. Some people think it is. You can't really misuse it either. You can maybe misinterpret some of the aspects, but it's super helpful because we've been dealing with the tree of knowledge, and knowledge being targeted with mind control means that we need to gain self-knowledge so that we can wake up. And astrology is a great tool for that. So I know I'm answering more than you asked, but it's definitely, and it would be really great to merge those two, but many other things. Who actually created us humans? Well, I mean, I feel we all come from God source, the cosmic trinity, guardian founder races, 3 main guardian founder race groups. Yeah, I mean, it all kind of started in Lyra. We've been manipulated. Our DNA's been manipulated by beings and turned us into sort of this human form that we're in, that we're able to regenerate, we're able to restore what we used to be. I mean, it's going to take some time, but we all come from God source, mother, father, energy. And when the galactic cores, which they're connected to, the galactic plane of Andromeda and Milky Way that are merged now, very much is where our original soul emerged from. And that's why we've been in a fallen system with this longing and desire to ascend, because we want to go home to the creator. We want to get back in touch with that. We want to feel that direct connect so that we feel constantly nurtured and connected. So, and we don't want to stop at the Anunnaki and think that they're our creators. And that's what they've tried to accomplish. We're the gods, we created you. And that's not true. And so they're kind of like representing the veil as far as I'm concerned. Not all of them, but, and they are creator beings. Don't get me wrong. They're part of that greater source energy, but a lot of the fallen ones and a lot of the hybridization programs and manipulation of DNA made us what we are today, but we are source beings and guardian founder groups. And some people have more of an affinity with, maybe the Syrians or the Pleiadians, but they all You know, they all started as founder races. And I feel most of us as humans hold all three of the founder rays of energy. And yep. Okay. I'm just trying to see if I can yeah, so I mean, everybody's got their soul group too, right? So like some people feel more aligned with the Melchizedek, some people feel more aligned with, but again, it's just like when we look at root races and cloister races, 7 + 5 is 12. The 5 cloister races are star seeds. The 7 root races are connected to, you know, certain tribes and different races. And we're here to combine and rebuild by sharing codes with each other, to rebuild the structure of our DNA, which will help us as a planetary vessel be in that oneness. And the mother energy, which to me created us, is the planetary consciousness. She morphed into the physical planet. So this is beyond just Mother Earth. This is like Mother God that is the planetary consciousness. So that's, and that you can't conquer that. You can't, that power is way too strong. That's why it's inevitable that we're going to ascend. We just got a lot of really, really dark beings that have made it difficult because they need a food source. They've turned us into a food source because they've disconnected from source creator. And they have to put things in reversals in order to steal and harvest energy. That's the whole idea of doing reversals. It's how they're able to harvest energy. Okay. I'm curious about my future path. I've done some remote energy healing, but spent most of my life mainstream in finance and politics. And I'm searching, waiting for my next move. And I have many offers. I don't know if you want to just do a quick card reading, or maybe this is something we do outside of this, because this seems more astrology than cards. So Daryl, if you want to send me an email, I kind of booked for the next week or two, but I think it'd be better to do a one-on-one. Okay, cool. So Laura, I firstly want to thank you for being on this planet at this time. I've followed you for a good few years now and resonate thoroughly, as I'm sure many others do too. My partner earlier this morning gifted me the Inner Circle Patreon experience. So excited. Love and light to you. My question is, all these poor humans on the planet that seem so easily brainwashed by the media, would you say this is their first time here on Earth? Not necessarily. I mean, I would say they might very well have come in a later seeding without a whole lot of galactic memories, without a starseed mission, but they've been, you know, the ones that, I mean, because we've been dealing with dark technologies, reversal grid energies for thousands of years. So through osmosis, just when we're born into this lower dimension, you know, we have amnesia and we're kind of like already starting the process of losing ourselves to things like being brainwashed and media. And so I would say they're new souls in 26,000 year cycle that were seeded sometime back then. Whereas those that sometimes come in and haven't ever been here before, sometimes are the most awakened, because they're like, wait a second, you know, wherever they were before is very, very different. Or if somebody's, you know, new, there are a lot of souls that are coming in right now that have not had a whole lot of Earth incarnations that are very much star seeds because they're coming in from higher systems. Coming in for the first time, though, I don't think necessarily means that you're a new soul or that you'd be easily brainwashed. I almost feel like they're carrying a longer indoctrination and ancestral patterning, but they don't have starseed memories or a starseed mission because they weren't seeded in like maybe the times of Tara or Tiamat or even Maldek or Lyra or, you know, so yeah, that's kind of the way I feel, is that those that are easily brainwashed just sort of came in when, especially 5,500 years ago, when the junk DNA got really strong, this Sumerian Egypt invasion, that was like when we lost all our galactic memories. And so the souls being born and seeded from that point forward, if they weren't old souls or star seeds, had a very, very difficult time. And it just, the brainwashing just was very easy to do. the genetic experiments and the hybridization as well. But you can get a very advanced soul that comes into that too, and then ends up activating the tribe or those that have been in a similar situation. There's all sorts of rescue missions beyond what we can comprehend, as far as the seeding of humans and star seed missions coming in, and different ways to, deal with all this. But there are a lot of brainwashed people, no doubt.